right? The biggest IPO. Now, when we say IPO, I want you guys to write this down for the ones that may not know, right? IPO is an initial public offering, right? Where SpaceX has been previously been private, but now it's going to be public for you and I and for investors to invest in, right? It's going to be the biggest publicly traded company to ever hit the stock market, Wall Street, right? And so we're going to cover a little bit more about this here as far as the evaluation. So you see here it's going to be at $1.7 trillion here, right? So, all right, I want to get right into it here and, just talk about tonight here, right? SpaceX in itself here, right? This is very important. All right, guys, I've been doing this for a very long time. Just kind of want to show you guys here, right? Credibility. I've never witnessed a stock like this right here before. Been here investing now well over 15 years, and so I love it. This is my passion. So I want to be able to teach this here to you guys tonight here, right? Another thing too, Facebook. It had its initial public offering in 2012, one of the other hottest companies that came out. And so now we got an opportunity, man, to witness another company with SpaceX. So what is SpaceX, guys? SpaceX is a transportation company. So you guys can screenshot these slides if you like for future reference as well. It's a transportation company, guys, for space. It's a whole new industry, right? And so I kind of like to break it down like this right here in this regard, right? It's like Uber, right? Moves people around from cities, like FedEx, moving packages around the world. But now it's going to be a transportation company, and space is going to be the new evolution when it comes to moving in itself here, right? So SpaceX, that's essentially what it is. It's going to be a major transportation company that's moving things over into space, right? And so what is it going to move? It's going to move like into satellite, astronaut to space stations, cargo and supplies to like the moon. Like this is like totally brand new. All right. The three biggest businesses that's going to fall under SpaceX, and this is very important. The very first one right here is rocket launches. It's going to do rocket launches here, right? Something that we've never really kind of like seen before. And what's going to happen is this company's going to pay SpaceX to like launch like satellites, like paying a moving company to move your furniture. So you're going to be able to like take a rocket to like the moon, right? And there's going to be different things that's going on the moon that you might want to witness. And so SpaceX is going to offer that opportunity where you have rocket launches. The second aspect to this, and probably the biggest of the biggest business aspect of it, is Starlink internet. Thousands of satellite provide internet service, right? It's going to be able to help people in rural areas to get online. I mean, you look at countries like Kenya, right? Like they're struggling to like get internet. Like companies like or countries like Africa, right? Like these third world countries, or like Cuba, for instance, right? Can't necessarily get the internet like they really want. SpaceX is going to be able to help that through Starlink in itself here. Then you look at the third aspect of the three businesses is the future space travel. They're going to be building giant rockets to eventually reach Mars. It's going to be a long-term vision and helping making humans multi-planet species in itself here, right? So the three companies here is rocket launches. All right. The second one is your Starlink internet. And the third aspect of it is going to be the future space travel in itself here. All right. While people are excited about this here, right? It's one of the fastest growing companies here. And tomorrow is going to debut on Wall Street. And a lot of people is going to want to be buying this here, right? It's going to be led by Elon Musk, which also owns Tesla. Elon Musk is the most, he has the most money in the world, right? Richest man in the world. All right. And it dominates the commercial rocket launches in itself here, right? And so SpaceX, there is a lot of hype. There is a lot of hype right now. SpaceX was founded in 2002, so it's been around for a very long time. But now it's becoming public. There's been a lot of people that had access to SpaceX that was able to invest into it privately. And so they're going to be able to tomorrow, a lot of these people that was able to invest into SpaceX privately, man, they're getting ready to become like millionaires and billionaires. And the people that's been working for SpaceX, there's been a viral post where there's been a gentleman here where he was a welder for SpaceX, right? And so with the rocket launches and things of that nature. Now tomorrow he's going to become a millionaire because he started working for SpaceX because he has shares of ownership of SpaceX. And so this is going to be huge, guys. And so now we're going to have an opportunity as a public to now invest into SpaceX. One may ask, how do you invest into a private company in itself? You got to have a special privilege for that. Now, the answer to that, I don't know because I just know that we can invest into it publicly starting tomorrow. But you got to be able to rub some shoulders. You got to know somebody and got to have a lot of money, to be honest with you, to be able to invest into SpaceX or companies privately. Because what happens is when these companies are private, right, they look for investors to be able to help them grow to get to the point to where they become public. So you can't put $100, $1,000. I mean, a lot of these athletes was introduced into SpaceX privately, and now they have the resources to be able to invest and be able to help SpaceX grow out the years where they may be able to put $1 million, $5 million, $10 million into SpaceX. And now their evaluation as far as what they bought SpaceX at 5, 3, 10 years ago is now going to be double. It's going to be triple. It's going to be quadruple. So we're going to have that opportunity starting tomorrow. But as I've been mentioning all week, I'll tell you the reason why here in the LesWin financial community, why I would say take a pause and a caution just on investing into SpaceX tomorrow. We're going to cover that here in a little bit, but we want to go back here and share some more information, some details about SpaceX and be able to help you guys understand why my recommendation and why I am not investing into SpaceX tomorrow. Now, me, my wife, and my kids, we're going to all own SpaceX eventually one day, but not tomorrow. We're not going to invest into it, right? Now, here's some information. It's going to trade tomorrow on the stock symbol here, right? This is the ticker symbol. This is kind of like your Social Security identification to us, but it's like a ticker symbol that identifies us with the company. So when you want to buy this here, you can go and put in a ticker symbol SPCX. All right. Now, it's going to start trading tomorrow when it debuts. It's going to start trading at $135 per share. You're going to be able to go to Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, and be able to buy SpaceX it's going to be around about $135 per share. But I do want to share this here with you guys. This is some very, very important information. And one of the main reasons why I'm not going to buy it tomorrow, but I just think that SpaceX right about now is overhyped, right? With the valuations, people want to buy into it. And I'm gonna give you the reason why that we're gonna wait and we're gonna wait for that valuation to come down because tomorrow, once SpaceX do become a publicly traded company, they're saying that SpaceX is going to be valued at $1.7 trillion. And for me, SpaceX is not even bringing in, they're not profiting yet. They're making a lot of money, but they're not profiting yet. So you want to be with a company that profits. So your revenue is what you make at your job, but after you pay all your bills and your expenses is what you profit. So they're making a lot of money, but they got a bunch of, SpaceX has a bunch of expenses. Now, let me share this here with you. So I mentioned that SpaceX is going to be worth $1.7 trillion here, right? And this is not me just speaking here, right? I want to be able to share this right here with you guys really quick, right? So we go right over here. We're going to put in a quick little Google search here, right? And then I'm going to put in right here, right? SpaceX, $1.7 trillion. And I'm going to kind of relate this here, the reason why I'm not buying into it here, right? Go right here, right? SpaceX targets, right? $135 is going to be the IPO. If you just joined in, we said IPO is initial public offering. But the valuation of it, guys, is $1.77 trillion. Now, what does that mean? If you go right here and to the site right here, right, we're going to go and look at the top 10 largest companies in America. All right. Now, let me go over here to it really quick, and it's going to show this here. Now, if we see that SpaceX value is 1.7 trillion, let's go right here. You see Nvidia, guys, the most valuable company in the world. They're worth $4.9 trillion. All right. Now, let's go and look at this right here. These are your top 10 companies. They're the most valuable company in the world is Nvidia. Go right here and look at Tesla, right? Tesla's worth $1.4 trillion. But SpaceX tomorrow is coming out, the valuation of it is going to be 1.7 trillion. So when you go right here, you mean to tell me that SpaceX is going to be worth more than Tesla? And Tesla's been around for a very long time as a public traded company. So it's going to be worth more than Tesla. It's going to be worth more than this oil company. And you see SpaceX right here, right? $1.7 trillion here, and it's just now becoming a publicly traded company at $135 per share. This company right here is seriously overvalued. It can be worth $1.7 trillion dollars, while at the same time, guys, when you go and look, and again, it's not making any profit at this particular point in time. It's bringing in a lot of revenue. So let's paint this picture here. So you make at your job, you make $100,000 a year. You're bringing in a lot of money, but your expenses and your bills exceeds the $100,000. And let's say, for instance, your expenses are $110,000. Your expenses is more than what you're bringing in. That's what SpaceX is doing right about now. They're bringing in money, but their bills and expenses is more than what they're bringing in, so they're not profiting. So you can't necessarily, for me, I can't invest into a company that's not profiting just yet, right? I need to have some more background history to see where the company is going. When do they see as far as starting making profit? Because when you start making profit is where that stock continue to go up. Now tomorrow it starts out $135 per share. It may go up to 140, it may go up to 150 because of the hype. But it's going to come to the point where it's going to have a correction point because you're going to have a lot of these private investors. They're going to be selling their shares and getting their inheritance because they bought in so early. So they're going to be selling their shares, and that's going to bring that stock evaluation down for SpaceX. So I don't want to buy that 135, right? I want to my key measure is I mentioned a little bit earlier in LesWin exclusive pages for members only on the WhatsApp and the Facebook that we're looking to buy at the $110 per share. Not at the 135, but at the $110 per share is going to be our buy-in mark, right? Now, guys, I mean, you've seen a lot of these companies that we invest in. They all had initial public offerings, right? Your Facebooks, your Microsoft, and we've seen that they've grown exponentially over time. So where will SpaceX be 3, 5, 10 years from now? It definitely won't be at $135 per share. I mean, it could easily go to $1,000 per share. But the entry price on it is we want to be careful as we get into it, not at 135, but I will be buying at $110 per share. And then by the time my boys, graduate high school, oldest son now is 13, so 5 years from now, SpaceX would be $500 per share, $600 per share. But buying it at 110 and letting it double, triple, quadruple, right? At that particular benchmark is going to be a very, very smart move in itself here. So we're not going to be buying it tomorrow. A lot of people will. You'll see the hype on social media. Not saying that you can't, because this is only educational information purposes, right? But you guys been knowing I've been doing this for a very long time. And, I just had a phone call with a guy earlier tonight and right before this right here. And he just started working with me in August. And he said, hey, Sherwin, my 401k started at $170,000 in August. And now my 401k is right at $215,000. And so you think about that's $45,000 that his 401k account has grown since August up until now. And so that's a lot of growth, man. He said, Sherwin, I just want to thank you because I've never seen my 401k account move like this before. And because he's been so gracious to see that his 401k account been moving, guess what most people do in this LesWin financial community? How this community grows is because they refer their family, their friends, and their coworkers because they've been seeing the growth and now they're looking out for other members in itself here, right? And so that's what we see SpaceX, right? Saying, hey, look, it's going to be a credible investment that we want to be in, but just not right now, right? We want to wait for some of those evaluations to come down before we seriously try to get into it. But this is already amazing, right? It's not even a public traded company yet, but it's also listed as the eighth largest company in the world right here, right? Just for context here, you will see that Facebook, which is Meta, they're the 12th largest company in the world. They're worth $1.4 trillion. Our favorite company right about now. This company right here, man, is our Nvidia. This is the new Nvidia for me. All right. I've been putting money into this quite a bit in building up my account, not only for me, but for my kids, for the wife. You would see Micron Technology, they're worth about $1.1 trillion here, right? They've had some serious growth in itself. You would see it was up 11% just alone today. It's at $995 per share. It belongs over $1,000 per share. My target price for Micron Technology by the end of the year is right at $1,500 per share. All right. And Micron Technology is a company. If you go to Chat GPT and you put information into that and you see that information spits back quickly, or if it remembers what you put 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, this company here is a memory. They put the memory in the AI chip, and these AI chips like Chat GPT. They're the only company in the US that does this right here. Now, SK Hynix is also a memory company, but they're an international company. Micron Technology, SK Hynix, and Samsung are the only three companies that produces memory in AI chips. But Micron Technology is the only company in the US that makes memory for AI. You would notice 2 weeks ago, President Trump, and I shouldn't say president, that's y'all president, ain't my president, but Trump was in New York. And Micron Technology is building a multi-million-dollar facility in New York. And Trump was there advocating in New York. And he said, hey, look, it's a great company to buy. And so, man, when Trump said that, Micron Technology shot up. But we have been well into Micron Technology because I told you guys here in our December class for the top 10 investments for 2026. Micron Technology was one of the top 10 companies. Micron Technology is well approaching the 200% per year. And so it's running like NVIDIA was in 2021, 2022, 2024, and 2025. And man, we just riding it. We just gonna ride it up. And so just the same way as NVIDIA has built a good amount of gains in your portfolio, Micron Technology is going to do that as well. So we're excited because it's like a no-brainer to be invested into Micron Technology now. It's like some serious growth, right? So all right, so we want to get back over here and into our SpaceX and talk a little bit more about it here, right? So tomorrow it's coming out at $135 per share. Again, though, guys, don't worry about $135. You can buy this at any dollar amount on Fidelity, Charles Schwab now, or Robinhood. So if you don't have $135 when you want to decide to buy it, if it's $110, $105, you can buy these at a fraction share as well. And if it goes up 10%, whatever dollar amount you put into it, that percentage of that dollar amount that you put in is going to go up as well. All right. Now, four companies that's going to benefit from SpaceX here, right? And so we look at Google, NVIDIA, Palantir, and Rocket Lab will be four companies going to benefit, right? And so let's discuss this here, right? So we look at Google, right? Guys, Google, back in 2015, they invested $1 billion into SpaceX, and they own 7% of SpaceX. So sometimes just investing into SpaceX is maybe not the ideal, but you want to be around, okay, well, what companies that's actually going to be able to benefit from SpaceX, and those sometimes can be the true winners in itself. So as SpaceX go up, so will Google in itself because they own 7% of it. All right. They work with Starlink on the cloud and connectivity partnership. It's like Starlink is going to be huge for SpaceX, right? And so Google has a special partnership with them, right? More Starlink growth can drive additional demand for cloud infrastructure and data services. I mean, Google, man, is like a booming company, right? It owns Gmail, it owns YouTube. I mean, just the advertising space on the website alone with Google, when you go to Google Travel, things of that nature, right? The advertising, that's how they make majority of their money here. And Google is one of our top 10 investments for 2026 as well. You can go back over to the YouTube page, LesWin Financial YouTube page, and see our top 10 investments that we mentioned here for 2026. The next company is our darling, is our baby, right? NVIDIA, right? Is going to also benefit from SpaceX as well. Again, you see Starlink right here. Starlink generates enormous amount of satellite networking and AI related data. Anytime you see AI, NVIDIA is the king. It's the grandfather of AI. AI satellite operations, autonomous systems, right? You think about Elon with autonomous vehicles, right? Defense applications increase demand for NVIDIA AI chips. This is what NVIDIA is really known for, is their AI chips. But guys, let me share this with you as well, right? NVIDIA made some very big advancements late last week. And so that's going to continue to push them on a competitive edge and keep them as the most valuable company in the world. And so they've been putting AI chips in just different AI systems, right? But NVIDIA also introduced AI chips into computers. And then they're starting to put AI chips into the first one, which is Dell. Dell is making a great comeback, by the way. All right. And so now, if you look at NVIDIA putting AI chips into computers, that's changing the whole ball game in itself here, right? So not only are these putting into AI systems, right? But now they're going to be putting it into these computers. That's going to continue to keep NVIDIA on a competitive edge in itself. Now, NVIDIA's around about below $200 per share, guys. But man, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, NVIDIA is going to be $300 per share, $400 per share. And if you guys been with me for a very long time, and when we introduced you into NVIDIA back in November 2021, we was buying it at $30 per share. So some of you guys done made 200%, 300%, 400% on NVIDIA. And you log into your Fidel accounts, NVIDIA is your most valuable game. Simply because I introduced it into you early in the game, and most people didn't really start finding about NVIDIA until they start doing the stock splits. Because me, I do a lot of studying and kind of know these companies, right? Like Micron Technology. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. If it go down to $900, go down to $800, when it go down, man, load up on it. But I'm buying it every week. All right, that's called dollar cost averaging. Whether it's up or down, I'm buying into it every single week in itself here, right? So Nvidia is going to be a huge player into SpaceX, right? Because of the AI demand that SpaceX is going to need Nvidia chips to increase the autonomous systems and things of that nature, right? Palantir, right? Another one of our top 10 investments for 2026. Palantir makes AI for the government. I mean, I work for the Army. I see it literally almost every single day as far as the government contracts that Palantir is getting for government contracts. I write and manage federal government contracts in it. For the Army, and I just see here, you see Palantir, they specialize in data analytics for government. So what does that do, right? I mean, government officials, the generals, the defense intelligence agencies, right? They need to know about the different, how to go and find the different threats, right? If you get we're in a war with Iran now, so they can use different data analytics, right? That's been put into one system and is able to give them data points and give them information, right? And so more satellite in space based on data creates opportunities for advanced analytics platforms. That's the biggest thing right here with Palantir, right? Being able to use a bunch of information put into one system and be able to use that data and that analysis to make a smart, educated decision in itself here, right? So we are very big on Palantir. Now, Palantir stock hasn't really been, the best this year. But that's oftentimes when you really want to buy a stock that's really just been beaten down. And so they're going to benefit from SpaceX in itself. Just to kind of deviate a little bit here, guys, I did mention earlier as well, as far as when we use AI, here's one thing I want you guys to do by the end of the week. I want you to log into your bank account and download May statement. I want you to take that May banking statement, see, and then it's going to provide all your expenses. You want to put that into Chat GPT. When you put that into Chat GPT, it's going to tell you how much you spend on restaurants, how much you spend on eating out, how much you spent on groceries, how much you spent on impulse shopping, how much you could have saved on all that money that you spent on eating out, how much of that you could put towards a savings account or your investment account, or you pay further down on your credit card debt, right? Then you take May statement and then you take all statements from January to May and you look how your overall spending has been doing because it's going to analyze that. That's what Palantir does for the government. It helps them analyze and make decisions. So now when you take all your bank statements and put it into for this year and put it into Chat GPT, it's going to tell you how much you spent on eating out. Then you ain't gonna have no reason and no excuse to tell me that you can't contribute towards your Roth IRA or that you can't invest towards your kids or you can't put more and more money towards your 401k because that information is going to tell you how much you're eating out. And a lot of times people eat their wealth. All right. A lot of times people shop their wealth because they got this impulse shopping habit and it's just like you can't stop it. But when you actually see the numbers and how much you actually spending, then that kind of changes your behavior because it's like, man, one girl mentioned to me, Strowing, I don't want to do it because I don't want to see the numbers because it's like a guilty conscience per se, right? And so that's a really good tool. It's going to also build a budget for you guys as well. You're going to see how much you're spending, your trends, things of that nature, like on groceries and things of that nature. So it's a very good tool to do, right? Take those bank statements, put it into Chat GPT. It's going to give you a lot of information that you want to know about your own personal finances. So that's what Palantir does for the government. It's going to help SpaceX with developments more into satellite, things of that nature. All right. All right. And so we got Google, NVIDIA, Palantir, and where's my Rocket Lab? Rocket Lab was another one. I'm not, I guess I accidentally deleted it, right? But let me just do this here, right? Rocket Lab is the fourth company that's going to be beneficial for SpaceX here, right? And so let me just go ahead and do it. I did have a slide. I think I accidentally deleted it here, right? But guys, you can literally go right over here, right? And let's just look at it here, right? Let's just put this right. How is Rocket Lab important, all right, to SpaceX, all right? Boom, it's going to tell us right here, all right? Boom. Rocket Lab Services, right? Primarily leading alternative SpaceX in the US, right? It's going to be a big beneficiary to that, right? Commercial launch market. While SpaceX dominates heavy lift and crewed flights, Rocket Labs provides responsive, dedicated launches for small to medium satellites and acts as a vital competitor to spur ongoing aerospace innovation in itself here, right? And so you go right over here. We can go and look at Rocket Lab because that's not one of our top 10 investments for 2026. But watch Rocket Lab. It could be, very volatile. It has very big swings up and down. But I want to share this here with you guys here really quick, right? So I want to share here the ticker symbol for Rocket Lab. And so you guys are kind of be able to see a little bit more about it here, right? So I'm just trying to go up here to the top and put in this ticker symbol here, right? It's RKLB, all right? Rocket Lab. So we can go right over here and then it's going to pull it up right here, right? So you see this is Rocket Lab. You see this is the ticker symbol. It's at $114 per share now. You see it went up 9% today. Even in the aftermarkets, guys, it's up 5.85% here, right? So if you go right here, just kind of scroll down. This is CNBC, primary site that I use for my education. You will see year to date from January 1st up until now. Rocket Lab is up 64%. So it's going to be a big beneficiary for for SpaceX. All right. Now, guys, let me just point this right here to you as well. There's some very important information that came out last night, early this morning. We've been facing a lot of geopolitical with Iran and U.S. Right? Trump said last night, early this morning, "Hey, Iran is not really agreeing to some of our plans and negotiations, and we gonna hit them hard because there was two helicopters that Iran shot down two U.S. helicopters. Thank God there was no lives lost, but because those two helicopters and Iran said it was accidental, right? So Trump got pissed and said, "Hey, look, we gonna hit Iran hard." It came out around about 7 o'clock this morning. Then at 12 o'clock today, Trump said, "Hey, look, we gonna cancel these airstrikes with Iran." And guess what the market did, right? And because not only did he say we're gonna cancel the airstrikes, but then Trump said that there was some language in the negotiations where he felt like it's almost to like they are down to a final negotiation with Iran and feel like that the war may possibly be over. So guess what happened here, right? So when you go right over here and you look at these three major U.S. indexes, the Dow Jones, which is your top 30 companies in America, your S&P 500, which is your top 500 companies in America, and your NASDAQ. This is where SpaceX is going to be start trading at tomorrow. There's over 3,000 different technology companies inside this. The NASDAQ, SpaceX is going to be trading under NASDAQ. You will see right here, the Dow Jones up 1.86%. The S&P 500, which is the stock market, was up 1.75%. And you see NASDAQ was up 2.5% today based on this news right here. But guess what? If you go right here and look at pre-market, pre-market is basically if the market was to open at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, you will see that the market is still going to be up based on this news right here. Because boom, you see right here, right? Let's go right here, right? And look at these let's go and look at the headlines right here. All right, let me just kind of it says right here. Hold on one sec here. Let me just kind of move my uh Zoom way, all right? Stock futures tick higher as Wall Street gears up for SpaceX historic IPO. All right. Trump, check this out. Trump knew he can't do no airstrikes when the largest company and the most hyped company is about to debut on Wall Street tomorrow. Trump knew better. He knew better. And the market was down. It was down heavily yesterday because of them helicopters being shot down. And Trump said we're going to hit them hard. So the market went down. But guys, you can't get caught up in between the day-to-day market shifts, right? All I know for the last 15 plus years that I've been investing, we don't had COVID, we don't had different wars that came up, we don't had tariffs. I mean, all I know what the market has been doing personally for me and for you and for most people in this community, all it's been doing is printing money, even through the up and the down cycle. All I've been hearing is from testimonies from people that I put them in different positions. It's been market has been printing money. So don't get caught up in the day to day. Trump say this, Iran say this, but I will tell you this: when that war is over with Iran, man, you're gonna see that market has been explosive this year. Now it started out slow, but April and May was some very booming months, almost a 20% between those 2 months alone. And if now Trump be this in his politics, right? But if it is true, and I don't think it is, I don't think the war ends no time soon. But when it does, you want to be in a position to have your money maximizing, and SpaceX will be part of that, right? But that's news that when I appreciate you guys for being here, right? Because you got to be in the right room in the right circle to be able to get this information and then be able to execute on it. Because a lot of times you got people here that ain't in this room right now, or maybe see this a little bit later, but the people ain't in this community that don't trying to be financially educating themselves. They watching Netflix. I mean, they at the casino right about now. They playing the lottery, hoping and wishing. But when you put your money to work in these particular platforms, like I'm talking about right now, man, all you're gonna be able to do is grow. All right. And so you guys are big beneficiaries of that. I mean, I'm seeing people, man, that made 50,000, made 100,000, made 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, $500,000 since they've been with me with LesWin Financial, right? It's just a blessing, man. I truly thank God for giving me this gift, right? And be able to, and I appreciate you guys here in the LesWin Financial community for entrusting me, right, to be able to help you guys grow financially. All right. So, all right, I want to take some questions. I am done here on SpaceX. So, any of the information I shared tonight, if you had questions on SpaceX,